the fake outrage on these socials. The Democrats are in a hissy fit. Just fake outrage. Just stage outrage. You know what I mean? You want to keep aligning yourself with these different groups and expect these people to align with you. You think that you have this correlation with certain groups. You don't. It's all division. You know what I'm saying? They want to tell you who's black, who's not. Kamala Harris was doomed from the start. You don't lock or put away or destroy that many families, black families, you know, with your prosecutions and your sentencing guidelines towards black males. You don't get away with that. We don't let stuff like that slide. Understandably, you're doing your job, but at the same time, you didn't show that compassion until you wanted to run for the presidency, or you wanted to get into this political arena that you're in now. Now you can't flip all of a sudden because you want the black male's vote. It wasn't about Trump. This is never about Trump. This was about being abandoned. This was about a Democratic Party that didn't care about black males, didn't promote black males in any positive light. You promoted a alternative lifestyle as far as this, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're promoting that. That's what you depicting what a black male is. Docile, feminine, looking absolutely ridiculous, and just I don't know what to say about what you want to promote. You promoted these transgenders, their rights, the Asian bill, their rights. You know what I mean? So you didn't say you didn't do anything for black people. You never do. And so the brothers and sisters and black people in this country were seeking out another alternative, and maybe they were misguiding in what they wanted to, identify with. And when you have identified politics, it's never a win-win situation. Of course they're gonna vote in the opposite of who they think that's been holding them back. And the Democratic Party has been holding black people back for years, for decades, hundreds of years. They're not your friend. No, you could bring out all the Beyoncés and Kelly Rowlands and Jay-Z's and Megan Thee Stallions and whoever, Cedric Entertainers, D.L. Hughley's and Plies and Joey Crack, Fat Joe's. It's the same old trick. It's the same old strategy that's been successful in the past. So I give them credit. They tried it again, and it's just not happening. Now when you have migrants and illegals crossing the border in rapid numbers and massive numbers, and you're setting them up in hotels and giving them weekly allowances and credit cards, and you sending money over to Ukraine and Israel, and you abandon people in Afghanistan. Hey, look, man, the points keep adding up against you. You can't follow a policy like that. We don't identify with that. We don't identify when you tuck tail and run, when people help you, and you leave them abandoned over there with the Taliban. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that. And then you're giving all the money away to fight your little proxy war in Ukraine, talking about democracy, Well, democracy starts here. Charity starts at home. You just can't. And then the Hawaiian Island victims of the fires and the destruction in Hawaii and the damage down in Florida and North Carolina through the hurricanes, and you don't give these people a little. I mean, nothing. It's what, $700 per family? Are you serious? That's an insult. You don't get to do that and expect us to vote for you. Talking about, oh, we need to be together. Well, you haven't shown that you care about us being together, because the simple fact is, you haven't broke bread with us. You talked and you go back and talking about collard greens being soaked in the bathtub and growing up, and that's all. I don't know who planned that, but okay, whatever. But let me, as far as a lot of people I talk to, it was never about Kamala Harris being black, being a black American, and that's trivial. It's about her policy that she couldn't stand on. She couldn't give you a definitive answer in regards to what is her plan for the American people, the ones who's been struggling, had to go through COVID and that nonsense, and the inflation, and all these price gougings that's been happening. And we know who's getting that money on the back end. We know somebody's getting some money on the back end. And it's just insults. You just insult us. Insult us like we don't exist. Like, oh well, they'll keep voting us in because we're gonna keep talking about Donald Trump being racist and all this other stuff that has nothing to do with anything right now. The whole American plan has never been about uplifting my people. You know what I'm saying? Not upliftment. It's getting where you fit in. It's surviving. It's you being able to hustle your way up. And even then, when you got all your ducks in a row, you get everything, you got your business going, they're still gonna tax the hell out of you. They're gonna make it hard. And that's what it's about. It's about having a path to success without having all this running interference because of my color, because of my background. You know what I'm saying? We've seen other groups come in America and be successful. We know we can be successful if we're allowed to fully, flourish and prosper. But yet people still run interference because they stuck on this color thing. So that's our problem. I'm not looking for a handout. I'm looking for equal opportunity just like everybody. Generally equal opportunity. That's where we have the issues. That's where we got to get to the meat and potatoes of the situation. Because a lot of people in America is so quick to use that racial narrative on both sides. When they talk about using a race card, it's being used on both sides. Trust me. Subtly on their side because they see you as being, you can't escape your hue. And so automatically, for whatever reasons in their heart or whatever in their head, they have a problem, with you being successful. That's how I get it. There's an issue with that. You know what I mean? Because you have a certain power, economic power, and some people can't fathom that. It's hard for them to come to terms with one of, and I hate to use the word minority because there's nothing minority about me. But as a person who's strong and focused on being successful, when we get to that point, there's always some type of place where a cap, a glass ceiling for us. And for a lot of other people, black women, white women, the only people that seem to thrive are somewhat of the white males because, of course, the way the power structure is set up, they're in position to be to gain that accessibility to places that, unfortunately, with us being, labeled and discriminated against, we don't get that access, and that's real. That's just real, and we're going to continue to pound that point home. You know what I mean? They don't want us to continue to do it. Now, I get it. A lot of times it get redundant, but at the same time, a lot of times it's still happening. So the redundance come in because it's triggered by it's continually, it continues to be the policy amongst a lot of people who can't understand or don't seem to get it that, hey, we want to be in a position to control our destinies and financial situations, to be financial independent just like anyone else. And we're being held back because you have people that's burdened with this racism affecting their that psychology. And that's where it becomes murky, and it becomes very frustrating, because it's like, man, we're about to hit 2025. We're on the doorstep of 2025, and yet we still seem like we're always in the same position in terms of cultural differences, race, gender, and so forth. Once again, I don't have all the answers. I'm just saying what I hear in the streets, what I hear people like me when I'm around different settings of different groups. These are conversations that are being talked about, and it's a common denominator amongst people of all races. People have a problem when you're giving billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars to a country to provide a proxy war. We saw what you did in Afghanistan when you left all them trucks and equipment and all that. You just got out of there and left the people who helped you there. These are things that are just unforgiving. People remember that, and they hold on to it. And they see that you're still heading towards the same old trending aspect of just taxing and taking money and not helping people here who's struggling. And inflation is taking everybody's little, savings to do anything, to go on a trip or whatever. It's hard for people, man. It's hard. I know that's shocking that it's hard for people in 2024. But look how fast this year went. Has anything changed? Oh, yeah, things have changed. We got a new president. They put Donald Trump back in there. I'm not a Donald Trump supporter. But when he was in as a president, we didn't have these stupid little wars. Wasn't giving all this money away. Now, he might have been doing other things with policies and everything else. So, like I said, I don't agree with everything he says. But the common denominator amongst people that I run, I'm in different facilities, senior centers, recreation centers, community centers, all on the same accord that they're tired of the money not being spent in this country, that the people are struggling in this country and their voices are being unheard, and it's politics as usual with the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? It's the same old characters. That regime, I'm glad, is finally done with. That Obama, Biden, Harris, been done with them. Because it's the same old playbook with them. They refuse to adapt. They refuse to listen to the brothers. They refuse to embrace the brothers. They might say otherwise. I'm just saying, when I go out and talk to different people, different groups, and just in passing, talking, just general conversation, that's the issue. And so when you don't hit the streets, at least Donald Trump, you can say all you want. He went into the hoods. You know what I mean? He done, he basically listened to the people. And he was able to get his message out there, and it registered more than Kamala Harris' message. And that's just the bottom line, and that's why she lost. That simple. Peace. Have a great weekend. One.